Hey, what's going on? It's GW, and we got another review. This one, probably you guys have not heard of unless you are really big into the 80s horror circuit, but it wasn't even granted a US release until just very recently. And I'm talking about Andrei Zulawski's Possession. Some of you are going, okay, Greg, I've never heard of that movie, but when I Google it up, I find anything but. Well, this movie is very trippy, and just for reference, you guys can check it out on Shudder. And if you're a fan of really obscure, crazy '80s horror movies, this is a combination of a sophisticated horror movie and I don't know what. I mean, it's got a mixture of everything, but it was very entertaining, and I didn't know what to expect with this picture because when you see a movie like Possession, your first thought is, oh, it's another one of those Exorcist clone type movies. This is far from it, you guys. This is probably the furthest step out. But there are some big names in this film. There is Sam Neill. Yeah, I said it's Sam Neill. And Isabella Adjani, who is very, very good in this. And I'm going to try to just give you a brief summary on what happens in the movie because a straight narrative gets lost in the midway point in this film. Basically, Isabella Adjani and Sam Neill, their characters are married in the movie. And this takes place over in London or Germany. They don't really say, but it's in another country. Um, so they're married. They're on the brink of divorce and they have a child. And throughout the entire movie, toward the midpoint, I guess, Isabella Adjani's character seems to just go mentally crazy or crazy and crazier and crazier. And the one thing that's conveyed in this movie is the ugly side of divorce. And I'm not talking the War of the Roses where people throw crap out the window and end up on a chandelier, guys. No. I'm talking about devastation, heartbreak, suicidal thoughts, suicidal actions, despair. These are all pretty much themes conveyed in this film. And it's amazing. But the narrative is like I was saying, that they are on the brink of divorce. And without giving too much away, Isabella Johnny's character is sleeping with another guy. And then starts disappearing to this abandoned apartment. And that's where this thing gets weird because in the midway point of this movie, she lures a few men to their death because of an alien force. And that's basically your whole movie. The movie consists of, like I said, things being picked from other films. I mean, you could see references of David Lynch. You could see references of, the spaghetti western movies. And I want to say something. The special effects artist, he's Italian. I can't think of his name, but you guys will see his name in the credits. Was very, very good, and he made the blood look real. The murders come across as being shocking. Like I said, this is a sophisticated horror movie, which means it's not your typical slasher. It's not your typical, murder, 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 kill, kill, kill type film. But when the murders happen, they are put there for shocking. They're put there for a shocking reason. They want people on the screen to gasp. People watching the movie to go, whoa, and it works. And this is a very hard to find movie, but I'm glad Shudder got a hold of it, and I'm very glad that North America has finally had a copy of it. But you guys check it out, and it's one of these 81 movies that you would probably see, on 22 or 53 on a show called Scream Theater, which I used to watch when I was a kid, where you don't really get to see the creature till midway point, and then you have to figure out what to deal with it. This also borrows from another famous horror film, Invasion of the Body Snatchers. But this requires about 3 or 4 viewings. I watched it once yesterday, and dude, I'm lost. I don't know what the hell I just watched, but it was entertaining, and I really dug it. So that's Possession, and like I said, it's streaming on Shudder, and check it out if you're a fan of Sam Neill or just very obscure horror films. But this one, I will say this, and I don't say this many times, Isabella Adjani in this film deserved an Academy Award for her work, because her character is so full of rage, hatred, emotion, confusion, and then to be possessed by this alien thing, it is very believable, guys. It is one of the most believable performances I've ever seen from a female in a horror film. Next to Linda Blair, of course, the Queen. So, give Possession a check up if you have Shudder. If not, just Google it up. And I want to thank Courtney Jack for recommending this film. Courtney, you guys, I've never mentioned her on the thing, but I work with her, and she's a very, very renowned cinephile who has probably seen more crap than I'll ever see in my life, and she's also a very good friend. So, props to you, Courtney. Want to move on with one other movie review, guys, and I'm not really too thrilled about this, and I know this did not do good in the theaters, and I'm talking about House Party, the remake of House Party. It's the one where they were going to, 2 plumbers. The story consists of 2 house cleaners are going to clean LeBron James's house, but then decide to throw a party in it. And when I saw the commercial, you guys, I was like you guys. I was like, all right, this got to be a stupid movie in the vein of Pineapple Express. And they're going to take the kid and play comedic formula that was so popular in the first 3 movies back in the day. You know, House Party 2, The Pajama Jam, and House Party 3. They're going to chop them all up, and they're going to eventually make a new series. And I really dug the House Party movies. I grew up watching them. So I was very interested in watching the new House Party, and I was on the fence of buying it on Amazon Prime. And do you know that it was on Amazon Prime, and I read it's going to HBO Max. And I said, cool, I don't have to spend $20, you know, check it out. Which is a very good thing, because the story is not that great, guys. I thought it would be a dumb, stupid hood movie. It turned out to be anything but. It's an okay movie to watch, I'm not going to lie, but as far as laughing, as far as having a connection to it like you did with the Kid and Play movies, there's none. In fact, Kid and Play are only in this movie for, count it, 1 second. So really, they probably didn't even want to be in this picture. They probably were like, you know what, it's House Party, people associate House Party with us, so we'll just say drop by and have a wave. And the movie is ridiculous. The party aspect of it was cool, but what I didn't like was there's so many plots thrown at you throughout the film. We have, just like in the original, the 3 bullies who you meet at the beginning messing with our 2 main characters. That's fine. Then you have the girlfriend issue. Then you have LeBron James's ring stolen, and these boys have to go through hell to get it back. And when I mean hell, I mean hell. But in the old House Party, no one died. There was no murders in this. This one, there's about at least 3 or 4 people that get killed, if I remember right. And the story was just stupid. It was utterly dumb. Now, there are appearances by a couple rappers. Juvenile, Snoop Dogg, and I think Lil Wayne. I'm not sure. But the movie, what I'm saying is the movie was okay to put on. I didn't like it because, like I said, I grew up on the original. Now, I understand people are making movies for people in the new millennium. They want to reinvent things. But this one is just not for me, guys. I mean, but you guys use your own judgment. But, yeah, House Party. Glad that's on HBO Max. So, Not a lot else happened. Watched. I haven't been watching anything really. Just trying to finish The Office, give my thoughts on reviews. As far as horror movies coming out, I don't really see anything good. But yeah, I'm glad Shudder had Possession because that's a pretty cool flick. Beyond that, guys, I got nothing. And Dre, my man, thank you for getting in touch with me. I hope everything's cool. We're gonna kick it today, on the phone, see what's chopping, and all that. And then someone asked me on Friday. They say, you know what? They asked me. They said, what do you think about Michael Jackson? Now I'm gonna get into this because somebody asked me. Well, when I was growing up, like many, many, many people, I was into Michael Jackson. I love Thriller. I love Beat It. I had the white glove, the sparkling white glove. I could do the moonwalk and all that like everybody else. And then my sister got into him and I kind of tuned out. I tuned out right after the Bad album, right? And right after that, that's when you heard about the child molestation and all that good kind of thing, or all that bad kind of thing, rather. And I just kind of didn't care about Michael Jackson. I put him off my radar. Songs would play on the radio. My wife likes Michael Jackson, especially the video he did with Paul McCartney, because she thinks that's musical genius. That's cool. So anyway, we move into the house. We get HBO. We're here a couple years, and then that special called Finding Neverland comes on, and I watched that. I watched it because I didn't know nothing about the child molestation cases or whatnot, and I watched it. And after watching that, guys, not many movies make me want to throw up. I mean, physically, emotionally, just throw up, right? So I watched it. And I started thinking, I don't know if he did or if he didn't, right? But the man had so much money that, he built a theme park in his backyard, right? So my thinking is he had so much money that he would pay people to be quiet. And the more I thought about it, the only person that knows if he did it is him. You know what I mean? And the kids. And honestly, most people think Michael Jackson's weird anyways, right? But he's one of the top musicians in the whole universe, in the whole world, for all time. So, the question is, did he or didn't he? And the movie, I don't even know if you can find it anymore. I think HBO pulled that. But if you get to watch it, it's a very sick, it'll make you feel uncomfortable. In fact, it made me run to my wife and give her a big hug and say, you know what, I love you. Because hearing all these accusations, right, just made me glad I had a female in my life. And that's real. And then Corey Feldman come out and said, look, I can no longer defend this man. And when Corey said that, I mean, everybody knows about Corey, and I'm a Corey Feldman supporter. I love the dude. I got all of his movies, including The Birthday, which was never released here. But I love him to death. I love his work. And I say, if Corey can't do it, then I don't even want to even acknowledge Michael Jackson. It's a fine line because there are people that love Michael Jackson that think the whole case is all bullshit. And then there's other people that think that, maybe he did do it. And there's so many things that make him a great musician, but there's also so many things that basically detract from his music. So in a short answer, when people ask me, who the greatest rock singer, one of the greatest singers of our generation, of our time, of all time, I just hit them with the Jim Morrison, you know. Just like when people say, Greg, do you like Elvis? I like Elvis, don't get me wrong. I'm not crazy about him. I'm not going to jump around here in a gold lame suit and go, thank you very much. I'm not going to do that. Because to me, the king of rock and roll was Jerry Lee Lewis. Now, I know what people are thinking right now. People are going, yeah, well, he married his sister, and then he went to England, and he destroyed his tour. But then you look at Elvis and go, yeah, the boy took drugs. So nobody's perfect in the music industry. But I don't condone marrying your sister or your cousin. Right, cousin. Sorry. I watched a movie with Dennis Quaid. It just made me think. But I dig what Jerry Lee did. And I know up until, I think he's dead, but I think prior to his death, he was playing his heart out every single night in America. Something Elvis didn't do. But then again, Jerry Lee Lewis was not in movies. So everybody can debate everything about movie, rock stars, and music stars, and stuff like that. So I'm going to leave you with that thought. But then again, you can hit him with, hey, Michael Jackson was all right, Motley Crue was better. You know what I'm saying? So, or Ozzy. You could throw all that stuff in there. So my point is, everybody's going to like what they're going to like, regardless of rumors, regardless of, new stories that come out and everything like that. So I guess in the grand spectrum of things, everybody in the music industry matters. It just matters if you like them or not. So anyway, that's my take on Michael Jackson. Like I said, I didn't even want to get into it, but somebody asked me and I told them I'd review, and speaking of music, you guys got to check out Jackie Carson. And she is a local. I've been propping her for a little bit now. She is a local celebrity, in my opinion. She's got a few songs out there, I think, on Spotify, YouTube maybe. I think she's more of a pop sort of artist. Like I said, very local, and she is one of the most awesome people you will ever meet. And I hope, Jackie, I hope you see this, because I just want to say that before you were famous, I'm down with you. After you're famous, I'm still going to be down with you, because that's the way we roll. And you and your family are probably the nicest people that we know. All right? So I'm hoping I'm propping you right, because I hope people go to Spotify and check out Jackie Carson. She's very talented, guys, and she's very awesome. So just want to leave it at that. Anyway, it's your boy. We're going to go watch something, probably The Office, get a cup of coffee, wake up. It's about 3:30, and back with some other reviews, coming out. But that's what I got for you today. But give yourself, if you do watch Possession, give yourself about 2.5 hours. Because the movie's 2 hours and 4 minutes long, but you won't need that extra 26 minutes to go, whoa, wow, what did I just watch? And again, it's probably something some people's going to hate, some people's going to like. So, Anyway, GW, check you later.